And here we are in General Zero Hour with WhiPix as the pink USA Air Force on Tournament Desert and as the blue USA Air Force. Yes, this is a mirror matchup and a USA mirror matchup, but of course they're both Air Force, so I'm hoping to see some crazy Air Force wars, but it does look like going for that power plant, and two of those dozers most likely will be selling off that command center, as I can only guess that that's what these players will be doing. And actually, looks like WhiPix decided to throw down the spy drone in their own base, and it's actually spotting the blue spy drone, so a missile defender will be able to take that out, and now WhiPix can do whatever sort of sneaky build that they want, although they just revealed the airfield, so maybe they're going to take down the drone and then do a tech switch, maybe cancel the airfield, do something crazy like that. But we do have dual airfields now out of SanCo. What you'd expect to see, a couple of supply depots with those two Chinooks each, which is of course very usual. And now we do have 5 missile defenders getting up into that Chinook. No Chinooks can of course carry infantry and of course vehicles also. So, no Chinooks so far for that one supply center, which means WhiPix will be a little bit behind in the money, but if WhiPix can take down a couple of these Chinooks, that will be a big deal. Take down a dozer, that's a pretty big deal as well, especially considering it was able to take down the barracks, or at least force the cancel. They did not actually get to take it down, but they might be able to take down this Raptor before it launches, and no, it is in the air, and those Raptors with the air general, they do have those lasers that do knock missiles out of the air, and then you can also get the countermeasures upgrade so that they will be able to deploy flares automatically, and these missile defenders need to be doing something. It does look like neither of these players actually sold off their command centers, so taking down that dozer is not as big of a deal, but the barracks will be going down over here on the instead, and we do have all 4 of the Chinooks able to escape safely. Those spy drone going down. What is WhiPix going to be following this up with? Another Chinook. Looks like we're going to be saturating that supply dock with 4 Chinooks instead of that more standard 2. One of the Chinooks does get sniped, will go down right there, and what in the world is it doing now? It's just kind of... that Chinook is going to have a good time down on the ground, and the dozer being a little bit of a hero, running over at least 3 of those missile defenders. Actually, it looks like, I guess, only 2, but these other missile defenders will get cleared up. Doesn't matter, the Chinook is here to fly them away, and will the Raptor be able to get the Chinook? I guess that guy is the loser missile defender that no one wants to hang out with, but we do have a supply dock in the middle for WhiPix. WhiPix going to be grabbing, or at least trying to grab these supply piles somewhat early, give himself or herself a bit of an economic boost, but still not utilizing this second supply center over here, just now getting that second airfield, and this is about the time that SanCo will most likely be flying down there with some jets, with some Raptors. Here we go. Raptors are going to be going for the Chinooks and also for those dozers, going to be eliminating one of the dozers, and another spy drone will go down, which means no more scouting information for SanCo. SanCo is flying blind, but WhiPix isn't exactly getting prime scouting information either. Although WhiPix can see, hey, there's no Chinooks over here, so they're either all over here or they're all doing something else. But we do have 2 missing Chinooks flying around the map. There's a Raptor over here, and there was 2. No, one of those did go down. Actually, SanCo might be down to just those 2 Chinooks. But we do have throwing down some proxy buildings, going to most likely be capturing that oil derrick. I guess not, just building up some Rangers. Maybe he's going to try and capture some of these buildings. At least, you know, if that happens, he's either going to force Rangers, which would be the best choice, but the faster option would be just trying to use the Raptors, but then the splash damage is going to do damage to whatever building the Rangers are trying to capture, and this dozer may be able to run over that Ranger, but no, the Ranger will get triple teamed and taken out. And it does look like SanCo going to be grabbing the oil derrick on the left, which is kind of WhiPix's oil derrick that is closer to WhiPix, and WhiPix not going to be grabbing this one quite yet. Possibly doesn't have that building capture upgrade. As you know, as an Air Force general, it's not as much of a priority, but both of these players making strikes against Chinooks, which means all of SanCo's Chinooks are gone. And it does look like WhiPix only has that one Chinook left, which means money is slow, very slow for both of these players, and we're going to take a small break. But the money is going to be quite slow for these players as they try to take each other out, and not a whole lot of, you know, Raptors actually bombing stuff. They have mostly just been going after those Chinooks, and now SanCo is probably like, wait a second, where's the Chinook? Where's the Chinook? So he's got to have money somewhere. And WhiPix, on the other hand, needs to be doing something like taking out this Raptor before it gets its payload off, which no, he is going to be going for this sneaky airbase over here, and SanCo going to be able to not take that down, so 5 Raptors was not enough. Yes, they were there. That dozer does get taken down as well as collateral damage, and now the Raptors are refueling, docking back up as you can see there, and one more does take off and going to be circling possibly for defense, but WhiPix, on the other hand, going to be coming in, taking out one of the supply docks, was able to get that supply center, which will make this Chinook's trip nowhere. Where is that Chinook going? Can't go anywhere. So SanCo, I thought he still had the supply dock over here, but it was taken out, and the supply dock for WhiPix has been taken down, but WhiPix, unlike SanCo, still does have 1-2 supply docks up and running, and SanCo actually able to snag that oil derrick from under WhiPix's nose, despite the fact that WhiPix has a proxy barracks right there, and he may be able to capture that right back. Yes, he is going to be using both of those Rangers, so one of them is being completely useless right now. SanCo getting some, WhiPix getting some shots off on SanCo's Rangers, and looks like they aren't going to pursue there, which means they're just going to stop with their hip fire, and these Raptors are going absolutely crazy, being able to take out one of the airfields there. As you can see, the Raptors went immediately down, and have they been able to? Yes, there the oil derrick does go down, no additional income for WhiPix, and SanCo, on the other hand, going to be moving in to these Raptors, trying to take out the Raptors, and actually those Rangers do quite a bit of damage, might even try and capture that airfield, at least force a sell-off. Yes, there he goes right there, going to try and capture it and delay the other reinforcement Rangers over here, although these Rangers should be able to clear this up before anything too serious happens. And it does look like taking down the barracks as well. SanCo, oh no, WhiPix might get the capture on this supply depot. Will he get it? No, yes, no, he did not get it. But as you can see, the splash damage from that Raptor doing that. He took out the Ranger, but at what cost? Actually, not a whole lot of cost, because he just has to repair it. But now SanCo down to just 1 airfield, and WhiPix has lost his airfield as well, and lost both of them. So both of these players are on awkward footing, almost even footing, but SanCo is going to be moving out and is going to be able to do a little bit of damage to those Rangers, and I'm assuming he's going to be moving up here, seeing what he can do, maybe seeing if he can do some capturing. And we do have another dozer does go down, taking out that building there, which I do believe, although I may be mistaken, was the Battle Lab, which is not the name for it. But I completely blanked on the name. But SanCo finally getting his supply collecting operation back online, while WhiPix, on the other hand, is doing it as well, pretty well. Both of these players are going to be back online, and SanCo is back up to his regular tactics, trying to use Comanches. Might be able to get this dozer. I do not know why he stopped attacking that. It does not look like he has the stealth Comanche upgrade quite yet, and that would be quite beneficial, as, you know, allows your Comanches to run around unseen. You know, make great little strikes against your opponent, and using the flashbang grenades is going to be so effective against those infantry. But SanCo has superior numbers, and if he doesn't take out this dozer, he's not going to have any numbers. A couple of Rangers turning around and firing on it could be just what is needed. SanCo going to go for the capture of that, of the supply center. Will the dozer be able to stop it? He will get the kill. The dozer and now pumping out Rangers to try and deal with all of these Rangers from SanCo. SanCo might just have to try and mass capture some buildings and spread them out as much as he can. And these Raptors, if they try and do some damage to the Rangers, might end up doing more harm than good. But the Raptors are for now going to be flying out across the map to SanCo's base, possibly going for that power plant. So I was going to say possibly going for a production facility such as one of these airfields, but no, going to be able to take down that power plant. An easy victory, a small easy victory. Not doing anything with these pilots here, so no extra veterancy for WhiPix, but SanCo making some strikes, taking down that proxy barracks and also that supply center, so no more supply piles will be gotten supplies from for WhiPix. WhiPix is now just on that one supply dock, kind of on two, although that is quite the distance, and just now throwing down a third airbase, which this is actually like fifth airbase, but that's okay. And WhiPix, you know, they've still got their supply drone or their spy drones flying around, so WhiPix still has quite a bit of scouting information, and SanCo not so much. If you look at WhiPix supply or spy drone placement, he's actually got pretty good vision. He can see the the Chinooks, you know, capturing the supplies, so he can send out his Raptors on strikes against them if he feels like it. But Comanche's making strikes, and pilots heading to WhiPix base as well, going to be taking out some of these Rangers, possibly going to be getting shot down by these Raptors, and one of the Raptors does turn around possibly to deal with that, but one of the Raptors does take down that dozer and the power plant, and that Comanche does get taken care of by that Raptor. And now getting up the strategy center, which is what he was building earlier, and it got taken down, and both of these players continuing to make strikes against each other with their Raptors, which of course that's what you're going to be seeing in an air general or general Air Force, you know, mirror matchup with Air Force. That's what you expect to see. I really want to see some Raptors actually firing at each other. We may not actually see that. We may have already seen that. But another strike coming out for WhiPix. Possibly going to be going for some Chinooks to try and cut off the supply line. Yes, one of the Chinooks does go down, even those lasers just aren't enough. And no, he's not going to be going for the kill with his own, and Raptors flying right past each other, possibly going for the strategy center. Actually, not either of the whatchamacallits, and grabbing the command center. No, this sell-off does go down for WhiPix, but now Rangers all up in his base are never a good situation to be in, and SanCo is going to try to mass capture a bunch of buildings and throwing down another command center. WhiPix, what is he doing about it? Not a whole lot. He will be able to capture this building unless it gets sold off, and no, the King Raptor is able to take it down with actually no splash damage. And now the mass fly out from WhiPix. What is he going to be going for? Most likely this airbase. And yes, he does get the airbase with one of the Chinook, or one of the Raptors landed there. And now he is going to have to try and rebuild that for his jets so that they have someplace to land other than this base over here. And more Rangers out of SanCo going to be moving in, probably going for that mass capture. He has 3-4 of those Rangers. WhiPix needs to start doing something about it, because despite the fact that those jets basically take off, they actually do kill the Rangers. Interesting. So actually able to eliminate all of those Rangers with minimal damage to the airbase, so good control by WhiPix. And WhiPix also able to take down one of the airfields for his opponent SanCo and making continual strikes. WhiPix does now have those 3 airfields up and running, and SanCo is back down to just one that is under construction. So yeah, he has lost all other, which puts him at a distinct disadvantage as he has no unit producing structures. He can just hope to maybe try and get some damage done with these Rangers that he's sending out, but oh, the Warthog was able to take down that airbase, and the power plant is going down for SanCo. Not going to be able to do a whole lot about that Spectre gunship, which was able to take down 2 of the airfields, bringing the count back down to 1, but now with the supply strategy center finally finished, And SanCo, can he get the strike on the airfield? Not able to finish it off. A couple of those missiles did get sniped out of mid-air by WhiPix, and two more do get saved by WhiPix. WhiPix was not able to take down, was able to save that airfield. SanCo not able to take it down, and now WhiPix going on a mass strike against SanCo, going to be splitting up his Raptors, not doing a whole lot, forces to cancel on that airfield, but now the Raptors for SanCo can't really do a whole lot except for block the missiles, but the command center getting carpet bombed by WhiPix, which you do need that strategy center for that, and it is a rather powerful support power, but also a nice thing about actually having a command center is you can use those support powers, and WhiPix not able to, well, he wasn't able to hold this oil derrick over here, which means SanCo does have constant money coming in, constant economy all the time, a slow influx of money, but might be able to capture the power plant, which would be a nice small victory. May not be able to, but does look like WhiPix is going to be clearing out SanCo's spy drone. And SanCo isn't in the greatest of shape, but if he loses all of these Raptors, he will be in bad shape. But no, the Raptors, 4 of them there, were able to block a large percentage of those missiles, and even able to escape off of the airbase and fly around. They will be doing some rounds, possibly going to be going on a strike mission. I don't know how. Whoa, no, he lost actually that airfield. I'm not sure if he had to sell that off or that there was a spare jet for WhiPix, but SanCo did actually get the snatch and grab on that, which means he needs to sell that off as it's just going to get taken out, although it is too late at this point. That is going to go down, and actually WhiPix could have captured that back, so, you know, either works, taking it down or capturing it back. He did go for the just destroy it option. SanCo needs to get an airbase up, but he just can't, and now WhiPix, where is this Spectre gunship going? He is going to be going for that oil derrick. He doesn't want to waste any Raptors ammo on that oil derrick, so he's calling in these Spectre gunships. Those Spectres do quite a bit of damage, and these Raptors really need a place to line to land, is what I'm trying to say, but a couple of Rangers behind enemy lines could try to capture this airbase, might just get run over by that dozer, but one of the air bases does go down for SanCo, and then the Spectre gunship flies off into the horizon. It's rather romantic. But more Raptors making strike forces, possibly going for that power plant. Yes, trying to cut the power to WhiPix, to SanCo's base, force him to constantly rebuild those power plants and make him spend more and more of his money on those power plants, and also taking down the Chinooks. But SanCo has been able to do a fair amount of damage, was actually able to do quite a bit of damage with that strike force, and these 2 Rangers not doing a whole lot. They may go for the capture now that he knows that they're there. One of them does go down, almost at the cost of the airfield. The airfield does not go down, but these Rangers from SanCo, from WhiPix, will be able to take down SanCo's single Ranger, and another Chinook almost goes down, but those Chinooks and also the Raptors here just providing their anti-missile lasers are being so helpful, and they have saved a couple of buildings and a couple of units for SanCo, but the supply center finally does get bombed to death, and now we have a small infantry attack force for WhiPix going to be taking center stage. They will be able to, you know, launch a couple of rockets, probably not get any hits as there's only 2 missile defenders there. And those Raptors lasers are pretty efficient at taking down those missiles. But now we have a very compact base, which will not be good if there are any more carpet bombing runs. And now the supply drop zone for WhiPix is up and running, and SanCo needs to build that strategy center so that he can get a supply drop zone. And now, as I was talking about that carpet bombing, because of this highly compact base for SanCo, and he might lose his only dozer here in addition to the airfield, and the airfield does go down, but the dozer escapes unscathed. So now we have at least 4 Raptors for SanCo, and he's just flying them around, trying to use them to block any extra shots, but the command center does go down. WhiPix may be able to very well clean up this game, as SanCo is not in the best of shape. was not able to get that airfield. Might be able to get it on the pass round. Yes, he was able to get it on the pass round. But more supply drop zones, which means more money. 4 WhiPix are going around, and SanCo just used the last of his bombs on some, an airfield that actually he was able to shut down. But SanCo may be out of this game, and yes, SanCo has been defeated. So a good game for both these players. Quite an interesting game that you do not normally see. Air General mirrors, not necessarily see mirrors very often because there are so many factions, and then the sub-factions are really what set it off. But kind of an exciting game, an unusual game, lots of units destroyed, not very many, buildings destroyed, but Air Force do their thing. Lots of Chinooks going down, both of these players at least playing pretty strong versus each other in air versus air, which, not necessarily the best matchup, but it is a fun matchup to watch, so I hope you enjoyed it. This is Sybert, signing out.